Excellent. We've got hugs at the front as well. I love it. I love it. Geniuses, thank you ever so much. What can I say? What can I say? My name is Kheron. You've already heard a little bit. And I'm just going to spend the next few minutes to tell you a little bit about my story, where I've come from, and where I am today, and why I absolutely love what expert citizens are doing. Like, it's absolutely amazing. So just a little bit about me, guys. Community champion. Absolutely love community engagement, community development. And often when I meet people, they assume that I'm from this, stable background. They think I'm privileged. But what I really am, I guess I am in a way, because when you're resilient, you are privileged. What's made to take you down, you rise against it no matter what. So each and every single individual in this room, you're privileged because of your resilience, because of your mindset. But that does not take away from the challenges we have to navigate day to day, right? So I came to England at the age of 7, and I was super excited. Coming to England was the first time I've ever been on a plane. And I remember the first few days in England, I was counting the planes in the sky. I was like, oh my God, 1, 2, 3. I'll get home like, Mommy, missing 10 plane. My mom's like, son, you're going to see that every single day. I was like, what? I remember when I first went on an escalator, it was scary. Mommy, the step them I move. Right? It was just amazing, just overwhelming. And I had this very thick Jamaican accent. Hello, my name Kheron, what's your name? Wagwan, you good? So I'll be at school, and I remember everyone spoke so delicately. Miss, can I have some water? So I wanted to fit in. Miss, can I have some water? Well, I got toilet, right? And people would they'll laugh, they'll make fun of me, because in Jamaica, a 6-year-old, they talk rugged. Yo, where you there, pan? You good? They just talk rough at the age of 6. So because of the differences and because of people taking the mickey out of me, I did what I knew how to do very well. Straight in the nostrils. I would get into fights on a daily basis, and that led to me getting excluded in primary school. It was really challenging because in Jamaica, if you didn't get things right, the teacher will start getting their belt off. Aye, right? And when you go home, don't even tell your mom. You get more lashes. Why did you get lashes? Is what you do, right? So that's what would happen in Jamaica. Coming to England, for some reason, the maths that they were teaching me, the English that they were teaching me, was almost like it was for kids. I was like, wait, I've done this in Jamaica. Why are you telling me this now? So I was disengaged, ended up getting excluded in primary school. And I remember the staff member saying to me, we can't wait to see the back of you. We can't wait to see the back of you. And it still echoes in my mind that a full-grown adult will say that to a child. Had to go to a pupil referral unit. And that was like, combat zone. Fights every single day, 2-3 times a day. We were keeping scores. I got you yesterday. What are you saying? Went into secondary school, and that's where things kind of took a dark turn. And I guess I want to share this with you because each and every single one of us, we've been affected in different ways. Many of us have fallen through the cracks of society. Many of us fall amongst the forgotten. Those that just weren't engaged, those that didn't get the support that they needed. And in secondary school, that's where we started getting exposed to drugs, to youth violence. It was just a whole nother level. Now, there wasn't any more support than there was in primary school. And no matter how much I tried to fit in, it just was not working out. And in year 9, that's the year that a tragic incident happened in my family. And I guess I'm telling you this because the minute you begin to look beyond what you see, you understand that each and every single one of us have very complex lives. There's so much going on, more than what meets the eye. So I remember in year 9, great relationship with my mum. Love my mum, love my mother. Big up all the mothers in the world, my gosh, right? So to give you an insight, life at home, fruitful. Wake up on a Sunday, you get woken up by the smell of some jerk chicken. You be sleeping, up, out, that's mommy in the kitchen, some reggae music playing. You all right, my son? Yes, mommy. How long till dinner ready? Right, we're just ready. Mom's cooking from early. Loved that, loved home. Reggae music, Bob Marley, you name it. And in year 9, something happened that just completely changed my experience at home. I remember one day just coming home, and at this time, being at home, I would avoid being at home because of how small the house is. We all know social housing, you know, there's a lot of things that's not pleasant about social housing. And my house is so small. My house is so small that if someone's in the kitchen, you have to enter it sideways. You can't just walk in. You have to enter it sideways. Oh, sorry. Yep. Oh, yep. Just trying to get to the fridge. Up. Yep. Boom. You're at the fridge, right? You can't be on the phone without everybody hearing your conversation next door. So as a young person, I would do everything I could before going home. I'm going to see everyone I can see who's around before going home. And even on the way home, the speed in which I'm walking, I might as well be walking backwards. That's how slow I'm just dragging my feet going home, right? Even stop and chat to the pigeons. What are you, man, on? You everything before going home. And I remember this day I got home, and I was just there at home chilling, and my mom got a phone call. And that was just a normal thing. She always speaks to the family back home in Jamaica. But this day I heard her scream. She just screamed on the top of her voice, and I jumped up and ran. And I'm like, what's going on? Breathing heavily, looking at my mom on the phone in panic. And I'm trying to make sense of what happened. And what I heard her say is what happened between Durban and Leicester, my 2 uncles. Leicester being my favorite uncle, ambitious young man who bought land, had a vehicle. To do that in Jamaica, you have to be ambitious and disciplined. And he achieved that at the age of 26. So these two have had an argument in Jamaica. And somehow it's escalated to the point in which Uncle Durban, who is around 8 years older than Uncle Lester, pulled out a knife. And it happened where Uncle Lester's coming with he's a lot bigger than Uncle Durban, and he's coming towards him being aggressive. And one fatal blow to the heart cost Uncle Lester his life. That's where things just changed at home. There was no more reggae music. There was no more cooking. The impact that had on my mom just changed everything. Absolutely everything. My dad's not in my life. Stepfather, emotionally unavailable. Always. It's just not present. He's there physically, but emotionally not there. This is where my behavior really took a turn for the worse in school. And I remember saying to the staff members, please, don't call home. Don't call home. And the teachers saw that this is something that was like a pain point for me. So any little thing, they're picking up the phone, they're calling home. And my mom was so fragile that one phone call home, by the time I get home, I would find her on the floor. She used to spread the duvet right next to the sofa and just lie there all day watching TV. No one at school except one teacher was aware of this. No one was curious about what could be happening beyond face value. So Kheron got excluded. I was meant to go to a pupil referral unit. However, that was in an area that my friends had conflict with that area. So I didn't go. Ended up hanging out on the street, spending time with the guys. People are showing me how they're making money. Kheron got involved. These years in my life, I was the most vulnerable I've ever been. Like, honestly, around knife carriers, drugs, violence, you name it. At this point in my life, there's people still serving time in prison for something that happened back then, when we was 15. So I got caught up in gangs. And after about 2-3 years, lost a few friends that passed away, a few friends in prison, it became apparent to me that people saying there's only 2 ways out. prison or death. It was like, oh, wow, they're actually being real because I've seen it happen too many times. So I made a conscious executive decision to change my life, to turn my life around. I went onto YouTube and started typing in motivational speakers. How do you change your life? How do you develop new habits? And to my surprise, it had a profound impact on me. I believed in these speakers. I felt like they believed in me. They spoke about this potential, this greatness that's within you. Les Brown would say, step into your greatness. Zig Ziglar would say, some people need a checkup from the neck up. I would love that. And I would go to my friends like, hey, man them, listen. There's a thing called laws of attraction. What you need to do is believe in yourself. What's Kheron smoking, fam? What's Kheron smoking? They weren't ready for that. So I said, you know what? I need to become more articulate. These guys need to hear this message. So I tried to bring that motivation to the street corner kids. And that's how I developed, through my experience, how to become an engagement specialist. Those who were considered the hard to engage, that's where I began my community work. That's where I began my motivational speaking. So in a matter of no time, I became effective in sparking a response from my peers through sharing this message, through making it funny as well, dropping humor, gems, punchlines, you name it. I was treating it like poetry, like rap. And I started to garner the attention of my friends, some of which will come back to me and say, K, brother, thank you so much, bro. You see what we spoke about the other day? Man took action on it. Things are different now. And that's when I said, you know what? I'm going to spend the rest of my life spreading a message, reminding people of the greatness that's within them, reminding people that they're actually a genius. And if they go on this journey to explore this potential, they will be unstoppable. I proved this when I walked through the doors of a boxing gym and said, you know what? I'm going to explore my potential in this space. Guys, within 3 years, I became number one in London, number one boxer in London. I then went on to becoming number one in England. I then went to Jamaica, became number one in Jamaica, considered an Olympic hopeful. The next stop was Argentina for the Olympic qualifiers. Thank you. Then COVID just slide tackled the whole thing, right? But the proof is in the pudding. And I was able to show people that with the right mindset, you are unstoppable. So today, I bring this message to all corners of the country, schools, colleges, PRUs, young offenders. And I've been gifted the opportunity to address leaders, senior leaders in these environments and let them know that Kheron was never bad. Kheron just didn't have the support. Kheron just didn't have the guidance. Kheron just didn't have the opportunity. And the reality is, there is so many, countless amount of young people that just need that chance, need that opportunity, need that support. And that leads me to my next point, guys. I really, from the bottom of my heart, I want to celebrate each and every single one of you, honestly. Real talk, you guys are saving lives. You guys are saving lives. I was raised by the community. What I didn't find at home, I found in the local youth club. I found in my Tenants and Residents Association. Honestly, I'm supposed to be a statistic. Real talk. Like, I'm supposed to be a statistic. There's been so many loopholes, right? I struggle with managing my emotions. There could have been any time I could have done something wild and just ended up somewhere wild. But thankfully, people like you was there for me, holding space for me to say how I feel, make connecting dots for me. I remember when I started my first community organization, I was trying to get funding forever. I just could not get fund. I couldn't get a pound because I had to use some language that I just didn't know. And then there's people who were failing to engage young people, and they would get all the money. Then what would they do? Get Kheron to run the workshops. Because I'll bring the youth, I'll facilitate it, they'll be engaged, but nobody trusted this young person to give them this money to run the workshops on their own, so I had to do it. But you know what? Napoleon Hill told me in a book, which changed my life, this one quote changed my life, because when my uncle died, I needed a purpose. And Napoleon Hill said, in every bad, there's an equivalent good. In every bad, there's an equivalent good. And I wrestled with this quote for a while, because I'm like, what do you mean? I've lost my favorite uncle. What could possibly be an equivalent good in such a situation? And my inner dialogue then produced this. It said, if a life is taken, the only equivalent good is new life, is life given. And that was the moment I decided to live for my uncle, so his death wasn't in vain. I decided to be the one to break the chain of poverty in my family, to show everyone in my immediate family that if you believe in yourself, everything is possible. And I'm so proud to say that I have achieved that. Everyone in my family looked to me and they're reminded they can do more than what they think. And now I have the privilege to spread that message beyond my immediate family and let everybody know, wherever you are today, wherever you want to be, you are on your way. Just one step at a time. Keep going. So that brings me back to celebrating this legend. Darren, what a legend, right? The past 12 hours, or however much hours, maths ain't my strong point, from yesterday to now, I felt so special. The hotel's nice, man. It's nice, brother. Woke up early, went for a swim, man. I can't swim really. I was like walking still. I was in the sauna, just chilling this morning. I'm like, right, Darren, right? Darren, he wants us to feel special. Because not everybody wants that. Not everybody wants that for us. In fact, sometimes we feel forgotten about, isolated. Sometimes we don't even feel respected as a knowledge creator, a knowledge producer, as somebody that knows, as somebody that has insight, right? I rub shoulders with academics. And sometimes I make a joke, like, because sometimes, the common sense ain't common. You know what they say? So sometimes I'm around academics and they can't do the common sense stuff. And I'm like, man, I'm going to Oxford for my PhD. They must be giving out PhDs up there. I need to go get mine, right? But it just goes to show that people with lived experience, they are knowers. They can solve problems. In fact, these issues you've been talking about for the past 30 years, listen to people with lived experience, those who's been there. They will spill it for you right there and then. Oh, you've got a board meeting, mate. Just get 2 of these guys, mate. Problem solved. But the issue is they don't listen. But Darren, thank you so much for the endorsement, the encouragement to let everybody with lived experience know what you have to say is special, makes a difference. You're a knower. You're a genius. And all that you've been through was not in vain. And being here today is a reminder, because we're given a platform to talk about our experiences, to talk about what we learned, to share that success story. Darren, you're absolutely amazing. Expert citizens, you're absolutely amazing. Thank you so much for putting this event on. I want to remind you all that you are making a difference that is simply unmeasurable. Yes, you might need to fill out a form and talk about the impact you have. However, there's nothing you could put on that piece of paper that could reflect the impact you're having on the little Kherons out there, the little Darrens out there. So I just want to end on this note. Please keep up the great work. I see you. I appreciate you. Thank you for having me. Thank you.